my name's Shell. Welcome to my weight loss channel, where this year I've been documenting my weight loss journey through various means. It's now the end of October, pretty much. It's Saturday. Is it the 30th today? I think it's the 30th. And this month has been a disaster diet-wise. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Firstly, I usually cover anything new that I've had during the month, and although I haven't had any new food products, or I've got any food products to show you, I did want to tell you about 3 things that I bought to help me with the weight loss journey that I've really enjoyed. The first thing I bought was a new air fryer, and it's an air fryer oven. I've already got 2 air fryers. I've got a baby Ninja that I use just for just a couple of sausages or whatever. It's only small. And then I've got a bigger one which has got a big basket that I can put quite a lot in and give it a good stir. And the new one is a tower, and it's the manual oven, so it's much more like a small oven than the air fryer with a traditional bucket. So it's got 3 shelves, like mesh shelves, and you can pop things on the shelves and use it like a regular oven. So I found that really helpful. It's also got a rotisserie thing in it, so you can put, I don't know what you're supposed to put in it, a whole bird in it so you can twist it around. I don't know whether I'll find a use for that. Perhaps I can skewer whole peppers and turn them on a spit and cook them. I don't know. I might use that, I might not. But anyway, it's got the shelves that I wanted. So I've cooked a few things in there so far. I didn't find chips as easy to do in there because the trays are flat, and I suppose if you just had enough chips to cover one tray, that would be fine, but it wasn't easy to turn them over and scoop them round. I found that much easier with a bucket. They can get something in and give them a good stir. But it's more helpful. Tonight we're having roasted Mediterranean vegetables, and so I can put them on 2 trays, and it'll be just enough to cook them evenly and spread out in one layer. So that's what I bought it for, and it's been fabulous. It's only got 2 dials on the top, one for temperature and one for time, so it's nice and easy to control. The second thing I bought was a new bread maker. We've had our bread maker for about 8 years and we use it every week. We've not actually bought a loaf of bread since we bought it. We always make our own. I know some people think that bread is fattening, but I've never found that to be so for me. I think it's more the things you put on it that's fattening. If you like an inch of peanut butter on, like I would if I could. But I find it comforting. I love the smell of fresh baked bread, and I find that if I do overeat it, it doesn't tend to pack on very many calories, as long as you haven't got loads of butter or cheese or whatever on the top. So I bought the new Panasonic all singing, all dancing one, and I'd like to try and be a bit more experimental this time. I only ever made bread. We make wholemeal bread. I only ever made bread in the last bread machine. So this time I'm hoping to be a bit more experimental and maybe try some of the breads with bits of things in, seeds and fruit. And also I'd like to try and use the pizza dough making facility. But I'll let you know if I try those. And the third thing I bought was this watch. It's a Samsung Galaxy, and it's the number 4, which is the latest one. I bought second hand from somebody, the Mark III, and I really loved it. So fairly quickly, Andy said he would like to have the 3, and I bought the more up-to-date model. It only arrived yesterday, so I haven't had much chance to use it. But it's going to be fantastic once I can get to grips with everything. It does all things which I probably won't use. You can use it as the phone, text messaging, you can play music on it, all those sorts of things. But it does tell the time, and the one thing I wanted was to be able to set an alarm that just vibrated, so that it'll only wake me up in the morning and not Andy as well. And I couldn't find this on any other watch, so that's going to be fabulous for me. And also it counts your steps. It does your heart rate, tells you how many calories you've burned, all the things that a normal health tracker would do. It does do blood pressure and ECG monitoring, but you have to have a Samsung phone for that to work, and my phone isn't a Samsung. So if you want that facility, you have to buy their phone as well. But I'll just demonstrate what I've learnt so far.
Multi-workouts, tile 2.
So multi-workouts, that'll tell you how I've done today.
Steps, 8,739.
So steps 8,739. And I can go through that and it'll tell me then how many calories I've burnt, how far I've gone, all the different things that you want to know, what your what your fastest heart rate was. And at the end of the day, you can look back and see how you've done. So I've already done 8,000 odd steps today, which I'm quite pleased about. I'm trying to get up to the 10,000 a day, which I probably will do by the end of the day. But this watch is fantastic. As you can see, it's fully accessible. The voice it came with was terrible. I've never heard such an annoying, awful voice on any gadget. It reminded me of Esther Ransom. So first thing we had to do was get rid of that, get a better voice on it. There are lots and lots and lots of voices, which I'll experiment with later, but for now that's just the standard Samsung male voice. But it does so many things. It tells you the weather, and you can set reminders, and one other useful feature is it'll find your phone for you. So if you tap this and go to find my phone, it'll make my phone ring wherever it is, which is helpful for me because I am always losing my phone. I'm always putting it down. I don't know where it is. So that was very handy. It does lots and lots of things, and it's easy to use, and it's going to help me enormously. So that's all the new things I've had this month. Now to the actual diet, which was a complete disaster this month. At the end of the month, I was really disheartened and quite shocked and upset with the whole thing. It started pretty much at the beginning of the month. I have no weigh-ins to show you because I didn't do any. And at the beginning of the month, things started to slide quite a bit. And it was our anniversary on the 15th of October. And by that time, things were going really badly wrong. And I know Andy said on the anniversary, I said, I'm going to eat what I want today and have a day off, and we did. We had all sorts of nice things, and he said, he didn't say it at the time because he wouldn't dare, but now he says right there and then he knew that it was going to be bad. And it just seems to be whenever I start eating whatever I want, it just all goes wrong. I was trying to do mindful eating, and I've been trying to do this for a little while now, a few weeks, and the first few weeks it was great, it went really well. But as soon as I hit a few problems, and we had a few problems this week, Andy and I were both ill for about 4 days, the dog's been ill, my mum and dad have been ill, we had other problems, and my way of coping with that is always to just eat, and I just don't seem to be able to find any other way around it. And I tried, I've been going to mindful eating workshops, and I tried to follow everything there that we learned, and none of it seemed to make any difference whatsoever. And I found I was cut adrift without a plan of any sort, and I was trying to do these hunger scales and trying to do all the different things, and it wasn't touching me at all. I was completely at my worst for, I'd say, about the 10 days in the middle of this month. It was just terrible. I was so shocked that I'd gone downhill so quickly, and I didn't want to do anything. It's the usual thing, all the hobbies went out the window, all the exercising went out the window, everything. It was just terrible. All the things that I'd been mindfully eating that I had in and I was really enjoying, I just started eating everything that was there. I was going through the chocolate peanut butter, I was going through, well, like butter, as you say. But it was a real shock to me. I thought I'd spent 8 months of this year getting ready for this, and my plan was always to use Weight Watchers and calorie counting to get used to the amounts of foods that I should be eating, and that by the time I got to this stage and I went onto the mindful eating, it would be all set in place. but it wasn't to be. It was just terrible. I can't explain how bad things went and how quickly they went downhill. So 10 days ago I found myself in a real state. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't go on trying the mindful eating because it just wasn't working. It wasn't touching anything. The ideas of, well, go and play the piano for half an hour and then your urges will have gone, or go and phone a friend or whatever, they don't do anything for me when I'm in that mood. The whole time when I'm playing the piano, ringing a friend, the urges are just building up and building up and building up, and by the time I've waited half an hour or whatever, they're worse than they were if I'd have just not done it at all. So I just didn't know what to do. So 10 days ago I took a bit of a drastic step, and I couldn't think what else to do, and I just stopped eating everything that I binge on, just whilst I have a reset and a rethink and try and decide what to do. So for the last 10 days I haven't had anything. I threw all the peanut butter out, I threw all my cocoa out, all the stevia, everything. I just got rid of it all. And so I just had no sweets of any kind, no sugar, no sweeteners, no pop, no white flour, anything. And to be fair, I feel now that I'm back in control, but it's not feasible, it doesn't seem to be, to never eat those things again. And yet, when I do eat them, it's always the same. I start off and I feel in control, and then it goes downhill bit by bit by bit, and I always end up binging. So on the end of this month, I don't know what to do. I really don't. I don't want to go back to calorie counting, really, because I just don't want to calorie count forever, but perhaps that's the only thing I can do. But I don't know. The mindful eating, I'm not sure. It just doesn't seem to be strong enough to work for me. I don't seem to be able to understand my own hunger cues. And to be fair, my eating is nothing about hunger anyway. It's all, I don't know what it is, but it's nothing to do with being hungry or full. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm hoping by the end of next month, when I do my video, I'll have thought of some magical new thing. I don't know, perhaps I'll have to go back to calorie counting. I don't know. For now anyway, all I can do is just stay away from everything whilst I just reset, get it all out of my system. And I do feel a lot calmer now, and I do feel in control of everything, and the weight loss has been a lot over the last 10 days. I'll do the weigh-in now, and actually the weigh-in doesn't reflect the month that I've had, because I haven't put on that much weight now.
Hello. It's ready.
Okay.
9 stones, 13.0 pounds.
So 9 stone 13. I can't remember what I was at the end of last month. It wasn't that far off though. Was it 9 stone 11 or 12 or 13 something? So I was up to 9 stone 6 in the middle of the month, and I think if I hadn't have put the brakes on in the last 10 days, I would have been up.
Goodbye.
I would have been up to 11 stone by now. I know I would. So that's my video. I'm sorry it's not inspirational or anything this month. Oh dear. I don't know why we do it. We put ourselves through this, but it's got to be done, and at least the damage on the scales isn't too bad. But emotionally it was crippling. It really was, and I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it for there because I haven't got anything else to say, and I'll just be waffling, and I'll see by the end of next month if I've managed to sort anything out. I hope so, and I hope you had a better month than me. You couldn't have done much worse. Take care. Thank you very much for all your videos. I do enjoy watching them, and I shall see you at the end of next month. Can't be November, end of November. Oh dear.